Hi all, this is Priyadharshini working as an assistant professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Today we are going to continue with the topic CAP theorem. So we'll see with what is CAP theorem for NoSQL databases. So first let us see what the theorem states. So the CAP theorem states that in a distributed environment it can provide only two of the three guarantees or the properties simultaneously, that is between consistency, availability and partition tolerance. So we'll see what is CAP theorem for NoSQL databases. So we know NoSQL databases work great for distributed networks. We all know SQL databases allow vertical scaling, whereas NoSQL databases allow horizontal scaling, because it can quickly scale across multiple nodes. When deciding what or which NoSQL databases to use, it is very important to keep the CAP theorem in mind. NoSQL databases can be classified based on the two CAP features they support, either consistency, partition tolerance, or consistency, availability, or partition tolerance and availability. So let's see what is a CP database, that is consistency and availability database. So the CA databases enables consistency and availability across all the nodes. So unfortunately, CA databases cannot deliver fault tolerance. In any distributed system, partitions are bound to happen, which means that if this type of database isn't a very practical choice. So some relational databases such as PostgreSQL or MySQL etc. allow for consistency and availability. So these allows for CA type of databases. The next one we'll see for the consistency and partition tolerance database system, that is nothing but your CP. So CP databases enable consistency and partition tolerance but not the availability. When a partition occurs, the system has to turn off inconsistent nodes until the partitions can be fixed. That is, in CP databases means that it delivers consistency and partition tolerance to the system at any expense of availability. So that is, when a partition occurs between any two nodes, the system has to shut down immediately the non-consistent node, that is making it unavailable, until the partition is resolved. Example databases that involve CP are MongoDB, HBase, Redis, Bigtable. So we all know MongoDB, it is a very popular NoSQL database management system or a database management system that stores data as JSON or BSON files, that is Java script object notation files. It is frequently used for big data and real-time applications running at multiple different locations. Related to the CAP theorem, MongoDB is a CP data store. Remember, it is a CP data store. It resolves network partitions by maintaining consistency while compromising on the availability. So MongoDB is a single master system. Each replica set can only have one primary node that receives all the write operations. In MongoDB, the primary nodes are responsible for write operations, and the secondary nodes, all the other nodes in the same replica set are called the secondary nodes. They replicate the primary nodes operation log and apply it in their own data set. By default, whenever read operation happens, the client can also read from the primary node, but whenever read operation happens, the read preference will go for the secondary node in the MongoDB. So this is how the MongoDB works. So it is an example for consistency and partition tolerance database. The next one is availability and partition tolerance database, which are nothing but AP databases. So AP databases enable availability and partition tolerance but not consistency. In the event of a partition, if all the nodes are available but they are not at all updated. For example, if a user tries to access data from a bad node, they won't receive the most up-to-date version of the data. Examples of these databases, that is availability partition tolerance databases, that is AP database, it are examples of React, Cassandra, CouchDB, DynamoDB, etc. So AP databases delivers availability and partition tolerance at the expense of consistency. So whenever a partition occurs, all nodes remain available, but those at the wrong end of a partition might return to an older version of data than others. So I told you Cassandra is the example for AP databases. So Apache Cassandra is an open source NoSQL database maintained by the Apache Software Foundation. It's a wide column database store that lets you to store data on a distributed network. However, unlike MongoDB, Cassandra has a masterless architecture, that is single master system architecture. MongoDB, it is here. Cassandra is a masterless architecture, and as a result, it's multiple points of failure rather than a single one. So related to the CAP theorem, Cassandra is an AP database. It delivers availability and partition tolerance but can't deliver consistency all the time. Because Cassandra does not have a master node, all the nodes must be available continuously. However, Cassandra provides eventual consistency. We know what is eventual consistency by allowing clients to write to any nodes at any time and reconciling inconsistencies as quickly as possible. So this is about the different types of databases used in NoSQL. Thank you.